Well, Tomás, you have a bit of an entourage with you here tonight, but the only thing I can say, because I think everyone is after going through every emotion tonight, how do you feel after that? Because you were at the actual cold face of what happened tonight.
Yeah, sure, it was an epic, really and truly an epic. The two games were really, and it's just super to come out on the right side of it.
Yeah, and I think, Tomás, people were saying when Wexford drew last week it was a bad thing, we'd left our chance behind. My opinion was, great to get them back to Wexford Park. You never lost any belief in yourselves.
No, but games like that give you belief because you're playing with against the All-Ireland champions, and you go down into their backyard and you can perhaps, we could have won down there. Did really well to come out of it with a draw. We drew with them last year as well, but got blown away in extra time. So, we worked. We knew we had to be prepared to go for whatever it took, 80, 90 minutes, whatever it is like, and we did that, and it shows the progress we've made from 2013 to now. So.
And I think as well, Tomás, that I know you're a great believer in the whole philosophy within your management team is character. By God, we saw some character there tonight.
Yeah, well, that's a starting point with any bunch of men really, or any team. You have to have quality characters and quality leaders in there, and every one of those guys in that dressing room might have no hesitation, and you'd recommend them for any job or anything, to be honest with you. They're just good men.
And we went in with 13, after maybe feeling we were the better team overall, and I think everybody accepts that now at this stage. Over the 2 days, we went in at the end of normal time. I suppose it's not fair to ask you what was said in the dressing room, but how do you get fellas back up and get out there to kind of finish off the job in that situation?
Yeah, well, they had a man, Brendan Bugler got sent off at the start of the game. I'm not really sure what for. I haven't, I'd have to see it on the telly, but he, and it can be difficult enough sometimes to manage a situation where you have an extra man, because everybody's job can become a nobody's job. So, if everybody thinks they maybe can do a little bit less because there's a spare man behind them or whatever. So, you kind of have to focus. Everybody still has to focus on marking their own man 100%, and you nominate the spare man, and then he does what he does. And then, it doesn't happen very often that you end up with two spare men. So, yeah, that was... I thought sometimes we didn't manage it as well as we could have. They probably played a little bit close together. So, they were both going for the one ball. So, yeah, it's certainly something else as a management team. You'd have to think about how you manage two spare men if you were lucky enough to have them. So when I went back to 15 on 15, I know it might sound silly, but everybody had a job then. Like, there was no spare men. So everybody had to go out and mark their own men and hurl their own patch. And I think they actually prospered in that environment, to be honest.
Yeah. And I have to admit, 13 against 15, there was memories of minor days that I remember we with Liam, and I was saying, God, I hope that this doesn't go wrong with 13 against 15. A fantastic performance. How do you manage expectation? I mean, we're playing Watford in 8 days' time. It's a job now. I suppose you'll enjoy tonight and look at it tomorrow, will you?
No, I would say we won't even enjoy tonight. If you're a player, you certainly won't enjoy tonight. Automatically, right, you take in the atmosphere and the congrats that go on here in Wexford Park, but the lads get something to eat now, but straight away they're into recovery mode. Now I do admit it's very difficult to insulate players from the fans in a passionate hurling county like Wexford. I just looked at my phone, I think I've got 50 text messages on it already, and I'm sure the players have 100, so it's very difficult to, but in fairness, Sean O'Brien was in the dressing room, and he said he didn't like to be the killjoy in there, but he spoke fairly frankly that he's been in this situation, big wins, but the following week comes and it all counts for nothing if you don't back it up with a win the following week. So yeah, the players are already looking at the next game, and hopefully we'll get them back together, probably do a recovery session in the morning, back training on Monday, or analysis Monday, probably training Tuesday.
And that's good to know. And I suppose the last thing I'll say to you, Tomás, it's always an important thing from my point of view. Jack Guiney scored a point in the second half of extra time, and I remarked to somebody in the radio beside me, that's the first time I've heard that Wexford roar like that for maybe 15 years. That must have been something nice for yourself and Liam to be able to say that we brought that back to Wexford Park tonight.
Yeah, and delighted for Jack Guiney too, because I honestly believe he can be one of the greatest players in the country. He's a young fella, still under 21. He gave an immense performance last Wednesday night in the under 21, and I thought he was absolutely huge when he came in here again this evening. And that's at one end of the scale age-wise. I don't think I've ever seen Keith Roster play better than he did today. I thought he was absolutely unbelievable for a fellow who's gone past the 30, and he played the whole game and all the extra time, and at the end he was selling dummies under the stand, and it was just incredible stuff really. And but all through the field we had heroes.
Fantastic night, Tomás. You've made a lot of Wexford people proud. We'll be back to dissect your performance again tomorrow week, but well done for tonight.
Well, I suppose when you're being dissected by the family, it's not too bad, Tom.
Well done.